Welcome to Campaign 5 of Adventures in Silvernell. What the Fae, the Odyssey of Chaos. This is episode 32. We've been doing this for so long, and it's been fun. This is the Will of Asteri, and this is the Will of Asteri, not me, but these people here, the Will of Asteri, they are in the Feywild. They are trying to save the world, and they are, in fact, actually doing it pretty well, which is surprising if you've been watching for the last 32 episodes. But last episode we left off. Last episode we watched as our players left from a overnight into running from a firestorm and then expending lots of spell slots and having to camp like regular old people do. But that is not where we start tonight. We start in the moment we left off last night with Sylvie outside outside of the Temple of Gods as Tidbit came out to check on them, and Tidbit saw something so ugly, so horrible that it knocked him unconscious. And everyone else knows, like, minus Tidbit and the characters, that a hag swapped places with Sylvie in that moment and ran over to Tidbit and started to feign this sort of care for Tidbit that really confused Sylvie in the moment until they were bombarded with a overwhelming amount of magic that they noticed had some coven heat behind it. They were eventually succumbed as the last thing they remembered was having their magic feel like it was locked inside of them, that charge they built up was unable to move. They were knocked out and dragged to the woods by two other hags as the new Sylvie replaced them, and that all happened. We follow the OG Sylvie as they wake up in a cave of sorts. It is darkly lit, Sylvie. You are bound with, like, it's almost offensive. It's like rope that they have. You are bound. Hands and feet, you're kind of in a seated position. There is a campfire, kind of like bonfire, that is happening in this cave, and there are two female figures who are sitting across from each other. And as you start to wake up, they look at you, and the one who you know is the one that came out of your ear and had been giving you that haunting feeling, who you had saw fly out of your ear and get larger and talk to you. She goes, "Oh, well, look who is awake. Welcome, welcome. We've missed you."
Who is we, and why did you miss me?
Oh, maybe you've forgotten. My enemies call me Agatha the Migraine. This is my sister, Zilla. Zilla kind of looks at you. She is of red skin. The thing that you remember about her is that she's not ugly, which is like a thing that is notable about hags. Like, they're typically ugly. And Agatha is not pretty. Definitely like on the homely side. She's not turning heads in a
I was
positive
thinking
way.
homely in my head, so I'm
Yes,
glad you
yes,
said
yes.
it. Yeah.
Zilla is a head turner in the opposite way that her sister is.
Yeah.
But she has this deep red skin, long black hair. She kind of turns, just looks at you, and it's got that senior class president, like, okay.
What?
And she just looks
Yeah.
at you. She's like, as she says she's Zilla. She's like, great to see you. It's been so long. Ah, wow.
Too long that I don't remember you.
Oh, well, we actually you haven't met us. We know you. We've been following you for a very long time. We were actually kind of worried when you went missing for a while, but then you popped back up, and here we are. Why are you in the Court of Summer? That's so not your vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite, but I'm on new missions now. I'm assuming you've been following me because of the thing that made me.
Oh, we can talk about mommy if you want to. Sure.
I mean, that's why I'm guessing I'm here. Why else would you want anything to do with me?
Oh, well, yeah, sure. We don't like you because of that. We also just don't like you because, you're the reason we got kicked out. And so now
What do you mean?
it's kind of personal.
How is
You
it
don't
personal?
You seem to be like really not in the know. I thought you were the favorite. She should have told you everything, but yet here you are, so confused. It's kind of funny, isn't it? She looks at Zilla. Zilla looks at her, unamused.
Yeah, I was
Hmm.
the favorite because I was oblivious to everything, and now I'm coming to an understanding of what the fuck was happening behind my knowledge the whole time. So you're watching me awaken to this as I'm awakening to it, unfortunately.
Zilla turns to you, puts her hair behind her ear. You see, it's kind of like pointed, almost elvish. It's not as pointy as Desiree's, but it has some point to it. Puts her hair behind her ears. Obviously, we're your sisters, so you know you're the youngest. She's the oldest. It's not that complicated. You're really slow.
Yeah, I am, which is fine. What? This is a lot. So, are you my only siblings that I should be aware of? Are there more?
Well, we've only found three. There probably are more of us, but who's to say?
So I take it y'all know what her like ultimate goal is with producing us in the first place. I'm still not in the know of that. So any
They both look
sharing
at
of
each other.
information.
Um, they both, you see them, they both cut an eye at each other as you mentioned, like her machinations. Uh, Agatha looks at you. Oh, you really don't know anything. Um, the way we understand it, which is kind of offensive, but this, and she references you,
Me?
is it. Apparently, we weren't good enough. You were the end goal. Why? We would like to know too. But you're actually less useful than we thought you'd be, considering you're like the chosen one or whatever she's calling you. We thought you'd just be on her level, but
I
guess
mean,
she's still
darling,
kicking.
don't second guess my power just because I don't have knowledge. I can still whoop that ass.
Oh, and that's fine. And you can beat me up, and then what would you know? Oh, right. The same thing you know now, which is kind of nothing. So, knowledge, power, knowledge, power.
Why do you think I'm still talking?
Oh, oh, you think you're still in control? By all means, break out. We'd love to see you try.
No, I realize I'm not in control, which is why I'm still talking.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to be
Yeah.
clear about that. You have a
Oh,
nice
we're
way of
clear.
trying to sound like you're in charge when you're
No, I have a nice
obviously
way of
not.
understanding is what you're trying to say, but I digress. Let's get back to the point.
Oh, you are your mother's son. Oh, I see
Through
why
and
she liked you.
through.
The
Yes, yes.
bite. I
No,
hate
we're
it.
getting more of an understanding the more we speak to each other, I see.
I wouldn't say those words exactly, but I can see why she didn't tell you much. You have a way of just having to get the last word in. No, it's so
You have
fun.
no idea.
Oh gosh. Zilla looks at you. So what is it that you know? Since we're not obviously on the same page, bro.
Well, what I know is she's essentially, raising hell within the Fae. Or at least one of the levels of hell is in the Fae.
She decides to call on daddy's help.
Yeah, I'm also realizing that here recently as well. Did he make all of us? Sylvie points to like each one of them.
No, he's not our father or your father. I mean, I guess we could call him what, like grandpa, gramps, granddaddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we all
still
have
equally
different
like not
dads,
as
but they're not
good.
that cool. Or different parents, but they're not all that cool. The common denominator here is good old
Mother's a
mom.
whore. Oh,
Yeah, I really think that she's a whore in the way that you think that she's a whore, but I like that energy. So yeah, she's a whore.
thank you.
Do you think she just sleeps around for fun? Do you think
No,
we're?
profit. I feel like we're all something she produced in hopes of gaining more power.
Mm.
Nothing to love or to really want to be a part of their growing or being anything, but more so just weapons of war. Her own war.
You are correct. There is something about power, and Zilla looks at you and kind of like holds that their stare on you just a little long, and you feel this like this draining of energy from you. And she's like, "Yeah, it's crazy. Power. We all have our part to play, and you still can't seem to figure out what yours is. That's so funny. But perhaps we can help you because you don't seem to like mom, obviously. And we obviously don't like her. That's pretty clear. And
Yeah.
we don't like you, but if you don't like her, then maybe we can get
Common
along.
enemy, right? Yeah.
And then we don't have to, you know. Anyways, Agatha jumps in. Yeah. So how can we help you out? What can we tell you to, help this be more copacetic? Like, let's start over. Like, let's. She waves her hand, and the binds drop off of you. Like, let's pretend that we didn't kidnap you, and we're just like catching up. Like, that be maybe we started this off kind of wrong.
Yeah, you could have started it with a conversation,
Mm.
but you didn't. I mean, essentially, the one thing that I feel like I'm really missing in like the whole grand scheme of mother, I feel as though I was her designation of power. And I was just supposed to be the embodiment of that the entire time and nothing but generating more and more until I was like ultimately of her caliber, if not better, is how I imagine it. In my eyes, I was always meant to surpass her amount of power that she had, either for herself, and I never really realized it for me. Like I could have that and harness it myself for my own will and not hers. Um, but like the Court of Winter, there's like really one thing she's missing from being able to like obtain all that she is, and it's a rightful heir. Y'all don't
They both look at
happen
you.
to know a rightful heir to the Court of Winter, do
How old are
you?
you? I know you're young.
I mean, what is the age? Under 20, if I had to guess.
Ah, so youthful. You've seen so few turnings of this wild, wild world we call a story. Um, Power is not just this. It's not just the magic that is out there. It's not just the things you can will it to do. Sometimes it is. And sometimes power is knowledge. And sometimes power and knowledge work together to do very, very, very useful things. Um, Power in the Fae is often, which you may not know being so young, I, the generous older sister, but not the older sister, just the oldest sister. It's a clear distinction there. Don't get it twisted. Okay.
Still
Um,
old, still
do
old.
you want help or not?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay, so your lovely older sister.
It's
That's
better.
enough. Okay, but not the old. You know what? I hate you. God. Power is attached to position. There are things that some people just can never have, no matter how strong they are, no matter how high a level spell they can cast. If you don't have the spunk, you don't have the spunk. And our mother has known that for a very long time. And so if it's almost like you don't hear yourself. If she made you for power, and the thing that she's missing is some rightful heir to the Court of Winter, which I guess she makes sense. She's a cold bitch. It's open seat. That tracks. I didn't know that part, but we're learning. It makes sense that that you are in some way this. thing, which
Air.
is weird
Is that
because
what I'm hearing?
uh okay, let's I mean, maybe. You don't know who your daddy is, do you? And I know that she's not the heir to the Court of Winter, otherwise she would have taken the seat already. Actually, no,
I
she's
look
not.
at both of them and I'm like, and y'all know who your daddies are?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
Also, as you say that, you kind of look at you ID'd Agatha when you first saw her as a night hag. You look at Zilla, and you have no idea. Like you're looking at her and you're like, what? What are like obviously like hag is a class or a cultural
Yeah.
like title more so than like a race. So you look at her and you're kind of like, she looks different. And you also asked earlier, are there more of you? And they said there were three of them. So you know that there's the other one is of some other kind of a thing. Um, but yeah, you kind of like make that connection in your brain. You're like, oh, okay. Um, Agatha chimes back in. Um, yeah, so our parents don't often matter. It's more so what she can get out of them. Um, resource wise, she was, I think it's clear now, she was building something.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you, I guess, which
Partially me.
is why we weren't, as we mentioned, up to snuff. But she learned things from us. Probably to
If
not.
I'm hearing correctly, and I may be crazy for thinking this, but I've been crazier for believing her for most of my life. Um, she was able to obtain magical power through y'all throughout the years, but the one thing she wasn't able to obtain power-wise was structure within the government of having an heir of the court that she rules over. Makes me think that she did something that I am of the bloodline inhabited by her in order to execute this amount of power for her so that she can have total control. But little does she know that I'm not with it.
That's probably why she keeps the leash pretty tight. We've often rebelled against her. And
Yeah, and
sometimes maybe a little too vocally or preemptively, as we're here and not
yeah,
you. So
and I haven't been that vocal with her about this. This is really just like me finding shit out over the past like however many fucking days I've been in this new fucking Will of Asteria shit. It's been a
uh
whole thing.
Zilla says, well, look at you, one part hag, one part princess, whoop-de-doo. And that's you've made a similar joke to that to yourself, but it was not one part hag, one part princess. It was one part hag, one part is where you fill in the blank. What have you been entertaining yourself to be? Part hag and part
Oh my god, am I gonna blank on this? Because I'm just a little fairy.
a cold little bitch. And
I
you've
have
been
been a I have been just a cold little ice bitch. What I
yes,
mean,
and there's been a couple episodes where you have dabbled in the idea of you being the primordial influencer, either you or mom having that
oh
power.
yes, yes,
And that
that's
is a
what I was
parallel
gonna
that
get to within my statement.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is a parallel that you have pulled up, but then she adds in one that is not one of the two you added in. She said hag and princess. Make me an insight check.
23.
A hag with so much time that you talk about knowledge and power and needing a rightful born heir to gain the seat on the court of winter. You have witnessed the weird birthings of these primordial princes. The one in which you did interact with, was captured preemptively because the person who was of that plane had a intrinsic connection to it and was able to uh, and was able to one up it. So as it was birthed, it was gotten in those moments. And you know how hags are born. Um,
Just like that.
and in the moment you think you've only ever considered I am half this and half that. And in this moment, you realize that that is limiting to yourself. Because what if you're not half? What if being half is just too simple of an answer? What if there was more? What if you are part hag, part heir to the court of winter, and part primordial
And what
prince?
it'll be, yeah.
All of those three things connect to the same place. They all stem back to the court of summer or the court of winter. They all stem back to mom. They all stem back to needing an immense amount of time and prep and awareness and the patience to just sit and wait. You look at these two people in front of you, and you see them, and it's just you look at the night hag, and you know what she can do. She got into your
Mhm.
head. She kept you from resting. You've seen BB incorporate some of those things into her own
Yeah.
message. She communicates almost exclusively through dreams and reflections and weird ways of like not having to actually go out there. You know, of the one that turned into you, there was this idea of they kind of like the idea that they could just become you. You didn't really get an idea of like who they were, but you know they turned into you, and there was a confidence about it. They're like, oh, maybe this is their thing. They
Mhm.
can become other beings. You don't really have an idea about that. And then you see this red hag, and you're like, and from them, you feel this. The only way to explain it is like it's a draining energy, and it's almost like what you do, but in an unconsensual way. Like you can give out your power. You can choose to just let it go. She
She's
is
like an
taking
energy
it. Yeah,
vampire.
she is taking that
Yeah.
power from you. And they are all working together in a heightened way. They're operating on a high coven level.
Mhm.
But you sit there, and in those words, you clink clink clink, the vault unlocks, and you see those
Yeah.
three realities in
Yeah.
front of you, and they just stare back at you, and they're like, so what is your plan with all this power? You say you're against her, but what can you really do to her?
I mean, I guess that's the question I'm eager to find out. I mean, if I mean, not if, but the fact that I am all of these things, I think that my power is pretty much unlimited compared to hers. At least in the things that I can do and am capable of. Magical wise, I mean, I have this new little coven that I'm working with, although they don't really realize that we're a coven yet, though we are one. And I
It
think
does
with
take the
that,
awareness.
yeah, it does. They're getting there. We've done it a few times, but we haven't done it in like a sense that it's like, we're here to fuck someone up and we're gonna fuck them up with coven magic like y'all kind of did me and have maintained to restrain me this entire time.
We're
Um,
pretty good.
which is no easy feat, I will give you that.
Oh, Zilla says nothing. She just flicks her hair again behind her
Yeah,
ear. As you say,
yeah.
she's like, sure.
It wasn't necessarily a compliment, so you don't need to take it that way.
It's fine. Um, I would just say if you're gonna make a move, to make sure that it is with the utmost precision and practiced nuance that you can muster, because you get one shot. She's been preparing for this for
Ever.
lifetimes, and you've been doing it for maybe 20 years. So you may have a cannon, but she has the preparation to know that she gave you a cannon to use against her. So just, you know, have some.
Well, I mean, as an advocate on the same side as me of wanting to see her demise happen, and y'all clearly being the older siblings, um, what advice would you say for me having to take her down? You got to know at least some weak points.
weaknesses are not a thing that she likes to share with the class. She trusts no one. That's why her family consists of herself, and herself. She uses her father, she used all of her kids, and she turned on her mother the moment she got the chance to. Um,
Accurate.
so she's really like, guarded, some would say. So it's just whatever it is, whatever you have going for you, she thinks very highly of you, whether she says it or not. You are this end goal, unless she finds a way to make you replaceable. But it seems that she wants where you are headed. So as long as you can convince her of that, then you have no issues. And again, if you decide to turn on her, just make sure you have the power to battle the forces of hell and a ageless hag and any other people that she may have garnered favors for over the years. But
I think I have some outlets that I could tap into for those types of things. It's never a mission to do it on my own when I have other people willing to do some of the work for me.
and if she's taught us anything, she's taught us that delegation.
Always.
Well, perhaps we can help you think of some ideas. We've got this lovely campfire. We can make you some stew. Got some extra
I
if you
mean,
want some.
that might be nice. I mean, since sisters and all.
Yeah. Well, we'll get better at. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to like fully acknowledge it by any means. I'm
We
just
can.
now
We
getting
don't have to
used to
say it.
like having, others around me. It's not always the best. They get on my nerves quite a bit. And this is actually quite the reprieve of having like some horrible cynical cunts around.
Agatha eyes get big and bright. Well, we do not have that problem here. That is crazy. Zilla hair flips silently across from the fire, but she gets you like a little mug of sorts. She kind of waves her hand around it, and it like seems to clean up in a sense. It's just like a precipitation, like cleaning of the mug as they pour some liquid into it, heat it up, and they hand it to you.
Um, is there meat in this?
No,
Okay,
it's vegetables
I'll
and
eat it.
herbs.
My kind. And
Hunting
so
is
we just
like
like
so much
digs
work.
in. Yeah, we don't do it.
And you are able to spend this time kind of chilling with them in this cave, learning more about the We Three Coven, as they call themselves. You can learn more about them as individuals, also the third one that is missing and currently replacing you, and anything else you would like. You can ingratiate yourself into calmer terms as you spend a long night with them. You miss out on a crazy firestorm, a living firestorm that rampages through the land, all hot and heavy, destroying mostly nothing because a lot of things are fire, but it would destroy anything that wasn't fire that got in its way.
Yeah.
Explosions ring out through Firefly Force as this massive storm is moving through the land, and then it's ultimately taken down. You don't know by what or by who, but it does calm down. And the party finds themselves bunkered down at the edge of a river as they have opted to do some I want to call it bareback camping, but that sounds crazy. They're just gonna rough it out on the land. No
So
temple of the
normal
god.
camping?
Yes, they're gonna regular people camp, like the straights do. Do it. And they are out on the river. The sun is not coming up because the sun always stays up. But thankfully, Desiree made some custom sleep shades. I know there's a real word for those things. I'm really bad at English today. Sleep shades, like little like eye masks to block out the sun that allowed all of them to rest pretty peacefully. And I don't think there's any other magical means. Oh, and then because Null doesn't have to sleep, he was in sentry form while the Blight Teens and the Wildfire Companion kind of did like a perimeter check. No, as you wake up in this like fully consciousness, you note that one of the things that you note was that the blights posted themselves behind you. Two of them sat behind you. Yeah, two of them sat behind you, and then you could just hear every like hour or so one of them would one would come back that was not there, and they would just replace each other. So two would always be there, and then one would leave, and you could just hear them. They were like clockwork behind you. It was always like every hour one would appear, and it's like so you just note that kind of became like a background noise for you. Um, Everyone kind of wakes up. There's no fun breakfast to make unless you want to do a little light fishing or some gathering of herbs. And normally they come from the Temple of Gods, but you'd have to actually do the effort of looking today. Do you do that?
I'll do some fishing.
Mm.
Your mic is off.
Yeah, you're saying.
I'm gonna go over to Ursine, who gets up in the morning, who's going like fishing stuff. I'm just gonna walk over to him. Hey, you gonna get food this morning?
Yes, yes. This is the goal, at least.
All right, perfect. I don't have to worry about that. Since I don't have to worry about that, maybe we can chat.
Yeah, sure. But try to keep your voice down. It scares away the fish.
Okay, I'll try my best.
What?
So this god of yours, that's so much of a secret. I'm realizing I'm keeping a lot from Tidbit, but I actually don't even realize what I'm keeping from Tidbit. Why is it a big deal that everybody's god is helping?
I have no idea. It's something that Silversong just decided. Yeah, that. This is the thing. Nobody talks to each other. I don't really understand why. I
So,
probably could if I looked into it, but I have not done.
so why are you so hell bent on him not knowing this?
Because it's illegal,
Oh,
and he's sort of like
you just said you didn't know, and now you're
he's
saying
God's
it's illegal.
chosen.
It's illegal in God's
Yeah,
name. God, it's just so annoying.
yeah. I
Listen, his God is the God of time, so he probably already knows. I mean, Tidbit's already mentioned his whole God's thing is keeping gods away. I have to see so bad.
yes, but my God is the God of knowledge, and they don't necessarily like being the God of knowledge. They don't know everything offhand, just like at the tips of their fingers. Most of their knowledge is stored in books in a giant tree,
Okay,
which is
all right.
also them.
That's all right.
Um,
I'm sorry I asked. Listen, the main thing I want to know is Tidbit. He's got a god of time that knows everything. You got a god of like. At this point, I'm thinking it's a tree. Just given your hyperfixation on bark, I just don't think it's a bad idea to tell him. In fact, I think he probably already knows. Not from me telling him already.
but maybe not. He hasn't told me, so
What if I ask him if he knows anything about you? This is eating me up because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to pull him really close.
that would
really
be great,
aggressively,
actually, if
because
you
if
could
you tell
ask
anybody
him,
this, listen,
sort of probe.
that frog means a lot to me. I can't tell you why. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to go into it. There's something special about that frog. So
If you have a crush on him, you can just tell him.
it's not a crush, okay? It's a
I've just
hyperfixation.
found that it's much. Well, okay, well, maybe don't tell him then, because that in itself is problematic. But if you have feelings for the frog, I find that it's better to just let them know immediately. Now, have I ever been in a relationship with someone other than a tree? No. So probably not the right person to ask.
Great, I won't. All right, so I'm gonna go ask him if his god knows anything about you, just to get bait, cause it's tearing my cogs up.
Got you. Anything else that you're gonna ask him about?
Probably what he usually does about the whole drying up thing, but that's a later on problem.
Okay. Anything else?
What are you getting at, Ursine? I'm not gonna ask him to be my husband.
That's moving a little quick, actually. So I'm glad that we were workshopping this first.
Oh,
You got to move a little bit slower if that's something that you're going to be serious about.
all right. I will heed your warning. I'll be back. Okay? You just get all the food. All right? I'll make it. You just gotta get it.
Sounds good.
All right. Tidbit! Just like scream as I walk away.
Oh, the fish, the fish.
It's like a
Yeah.
rope 40 feet down the river, and you just start pulling it, and that's where Tidbit was sleeping.
Wait,
Oh, hello. Is it morning?
it is. It's a bright and sunny morning. Ursine's getting food. Desiree's probably gonna bring a book in about 5 minutes. And who the fuck knows what happened to Sylvia last night? Except for maybe you?
Can Ursine cook?
No, I'm gonna cook.
Have we checked that before?
I don't want to take
You're
a
gonna
chance.
cook?
Yeah, I'm gonna cook. Gonna cook the food.
Okay. I was a little bit. Well, I don't know if he's a bad cook, but I haven't seen him cook before.
Oh, okay. All right. We don't have to worry about that. That's a non-problem. You know, don't you worry. I will always
Oh.
cook for you. Look at me, Deadman. I will cook for you.
Well, that's very convenient. Thank you.
All right, that's convenience. That's the word I should use, Ursine. Question for you on this lovely morning. Did you notice anything weird about Ursine ever? As a person who also, or excuse me, as a person who has a god?
Ever.
Specifically in the topic of, he looks like he worships something.
Oh, he is.
I'm sorry, you cut out in a very pivotal.
Old, yes.
Say that whole part again.
Yeah. I got you. Well, you said that, do I notice anything
Yes.
about him?
Yes.
And then I said, like, what? And you said, because
Yes.
he's, like God. And then I said, oh, like old people, like, because,
Wait, you're saying you think
because-
Ursine's a god? I'm just trying to recap.
no, I think he's old.
Old like a god. Okay. All right. That's it. That's the most major thing that you've considered with Ursine. Like you look at him, nothing else.
Well, he's tired and he has those things.
The blights.
You look disappointed. What
No.
did you want to hear?
No, this is normally my I'm not disappointed, satisfied face. Let me try it again. Say it again. Don't say it again, please. And then I'll do the
Okay,
whole.
so he was,
satisfied.
um,
No. All good. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Are we going to eat
Yeah. I'm gonna,
breakfast soon?
yes, I'm gonna go cook, and then I'm just gonna turn and yell, Ursine!
No, I just had one. Oh God.
Oh, so much chaos. Ursine, make me a this is a fishing check. I'm gonna say it's survival with disadvantage, please.
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm screaming the fish away.
Cool. 18.
Yeah, you managed to get about dozen and a half fish. I think the thing that you notice is that you feel like you could have gotten. You've been here for a long. Also, it's him and he's got 3 other hims who are also like.
Oh, the blights, yeah.
But you notice that there is you feel like you should have gotten more there, and you kind of sense some sort of maybe it's pinging off your tremor sense, but it's coming from the water. There's some sort of disturbance, which kind of confuses you. In a minute, and as you sort of gather those fish, you notice that coming down the river, that's the right body of water, down the river are, oh my god, 2 familiar animals, 2 hippocamps, those water horses that come trotting down the top of the river, which is for sure more disturbing than people talking, and you realize that is what's causing the fish to scatter. But then you look and you realize and you notice someone who you all have met before. You see a person. I'm flipping pages. They have brown skin, in the way of tree bark, long hair, tendril like, much like Desiree's, but there's no fire. It is just kind of like swampy, muddy. It's kind of like dripping off of her. You see. Her name is from episode 13. There it is. Desbrenda, from the wildfire druids, who is now no longer a wildfire druid. She is a wild swamp druid. She's earth. She's an earth druid now, and she's no longer fire. And you see her coming down. She is Desiree's aunt. And so you kind of see her coming down the way. It's her. You see, she is driving these horses, these hippocamps, and there's like 3 or 4 people on her party with her, and there is a drake flying above them. You spot them, they spot you, and it's like, oh, and they pull over, and this party is coming to greet you and your camp. As you see, Desbrenda, Nada, Desalinda, the little fire druid girl who is still part of it because that is her daughter, and she obviously wasn't leaving her. And just a couple other male rangers, and you assume that one of them is the owner of the drake that is flying overhead, kind of like looking around. But she sees you and she greets you like you are one of her kids. She just runs up. She's like, "Oh, Earthside." She's a little moist, almost like she's been like doing cardio for hours, and just hugs you. And you're like, "Oh," you're like, she's just so damp.
I did not catch enough fish.
Oh, it's okay. We already ate. You don't have to. You don't have to feed
Oh,
us.
thank God.
That'd be so
I
rude
was
of
so
us.
worried.
Actually, we have food if you want some. We got some berries. We got some like preserved meats if you want. We could fish for
I
you if
would-
you're interested.
I would ask the frog, actually. I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask when it comes to
Ask the frog.
consumables.
I thought you wanted to ask for frog, and I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, no, yeah. Starts to look around. Oh, there he is. Like, no, you stay right here. Have fun. Don't mind us. We just want to stop by and say hi. You notice that as the last person gets off of that little raft attached to the hippocamps, they fall to the ground. They're like, ah! They seem all kinds of discombobulated in an instance. Hold on, I'm rolling a dice. Tell you what specifically. Oh man. You see that they kind of like step. It's one of the rangers. They step out and they like as soon as their feet touch the ground, it's almost like they just like buckle under themselves, and they start to look They look withered, like the moisture is being like pulled out of their body. They're just like, ugh, and just kind of like fall to the ground, which breaks the demeanor of the druids who are around you, coming from a casual visit. They're like, oh my god, and they rush to him and they like pick him up and they're like, what happened? Did you see anything? And they're asking you, which you did not see anything, but did you see anything? And they look at him, and then you hear another cry coming from the camp. Everyone hears this cry. I mean, everyone heard the first cry as well. Another cry from the camp, and it is more of a cough, actually. I got phlegm, like you shouldn't like sounds contagious kind of cough. As you hear Sylvie from wherever they were sleeping, you hear them and just coughing up something crazy as they come limping out, and they just look like drained and disheveled. Very abrupt change as to the morning. The extra party comes in. One of them falls almost instantly ill. One of your party who was kind of around and you hadn't seen for a minute, they appear from a different location and they also seem ill, but in a very different way. The ranger's body is like moisture literally is being pulled out of it in a not pretty to look at, very magical kind of way. And Sylvie looks all kinds of sickly is the best way to put it. Just paler than normal. The darkness of their hair is like almost translucent. They just look. You already look like a ghost, so it's hard to like be like you look ghostly when you already look like a starving orphan. But like a more starved orphan than you already looked. And those two people are in the party. Does anyone go to Sylvie's aid or to the decrepit ranger's aid, or to anyone who has now reappeared in the party? Anyone can answer except for Tanner.
I feel like Desiree, if she hadn't already entered by this point with all of the commotion, she would have came out, and upon seeing Sylvie in that condition, she's gonna immediately go over and do a cure wounds on her just to see if that even does anything, affects anything at all.
Yeah. You run over and you like go to cast cure wounds, and you didn't notice them, but Desbrenda is in that same sprint because she saw her person go down, but then she was moving towards them, saw Sylvie, who they do know, and saw them sickly. So you both run out and you both like reach out a hand, almost cinematically, and you're like, and you go to grab them, and you both kind of have this moment of like you're trying to send in this healing magic, and it's almost being like repelled off of them. Like there's some sort of like weird layer of bug spray or something. It's like you just like your magic just won't get to them, and you like have that moment of like getting the recoil from that, and it shocks you in a metaphysical sense, not a literal sense. But that shock, you look at Desbrenda, who's also equally shocked, that she's like, "Whoa, what just happened?" And this whatever this condition is I think that would tell you that it is magical in some way, that something is affecting Sylvie. So you need maybe something that's stronger than a cure wounds or a medicine check or survival to try to be like, what is it? But you and Desbrenda are both over there, and you are trying to figure out what's going on with that. Anything from Earthsign, you are with the Rangers, or the Rangers are near you closest, but do you engage with them or anyone else?
I think I'm going to start packing up the camp.
Perfect. Just starts to get things together. You and the Blights start to do all that. Null, where are you getting yourself into?
I'm cooking. I'm cooking all the food that was prepared.
Yeah.
So we have a normal day over here. Tidbit.
There's a dude being rapidly dehydrated.
Yeah, there's a ranger who like he stepped off the boat and like it just looks like all the moisture got sucked out of his skin. He looks withered is like the best way to describe how he looks. Like a Capri Sun with no juice in it. Yeah. You kind of walk up to him and you're like, I got this.
He'll get it back. That's what I do to stop dehydration.
Just pushes him in the river, and everyone is like, "Oh my god!" And you just kind of watch. Do you attach anything to him, or you just push him into this river? You're just like, go with the flow. Oh no, he froze.
Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else around me that might?
All the rangers. There's like 2 or 3 other rangers who are out there.
I would have tied that rope I had on around him. No, probably not. I would have just pushed him in the river.
Okay, well we got that.
That freeze. I think I froze.
You froze, but then that came through very clearly. Very clear. You pushed that hole into the river knowing that there were better options. Loud and clear.
Yeah,
and
I thought about tying the rope and I didn't.
Just pushes them in the river. There is a man who is floating down the river. Not quickly, but he is floating down the river. He's also unable to he's like kind of like stiff because he's like, So like a paraplegic man, he would just have shoved into the river, and he's like, no. And he is
with my quick passive 20 perception, do I see the water going back into him?
He is absorbing water in a regular manner, but he is losing water in a supernatural manner. So yes, but you also realize that this will not fix the problem.
Okay, could try to get him back on the
And after
control
you
water and get him back on the side.
control water, I got you. You start to whip up some waterworks and clear a path so he can make his way out of that, or rather, so someone else can go in there and get this man out of the water. But you do make a kind of a similar observation that Desiree and Desbrenda made, that their condition is being heightened by some sort of magical ailment, and you're not sure of where that source is. But as you think about that, we will take a bathroom break so we can also have some water play. That was I always say crazy things. I'm always
No,
like,
that
make it
wasn't
funny,
crazy.
and then it's
That was
like,
weird. Yeah.
that. See, yeah, it was.
Now we have to do it,
No,
which
no,
is the
it's
worst
No.
We're
part.
committed. It's
Fine.
canon.
no, it's not. We're all going to the bathroom like regular Americans go. I
To
cut the
do
black.
some
Cut the
water
black.
play.
Cut the black.
Bathroom.
Hey, we're back. I think, to save us some stress, we're gonna jump over to Sylvie. We're gonna start there.
Okay.
Sylvie, you have spent the night with this with your sisters, as it were. You know their names to be Agatha the Migraine, and Zilla the Spoiled. And you know that they have a brother named Gristlegums, who is the person who is impersonating you. Some things that you learned from them. Uh, they do have the motto, the prettier the face, the deeper the rot. It was something that was instilled in them from Auntie Bibi, which is something that you almost can see
Internalize?
in them. Like if you had the middle one, you could see, but like you just see like they get, like you don't see the second one, but you're like kind of like how they look, a missing one, attractive, and then you, and it's like, oh, she was building this idea of like a pretty face to hide the evil, because she, as you know, that she wanted this antithesis of a hag, something that could hide in plain sight. And something that did come up was you mentioned that these sleeping arrangements are just so subpar to what you have been used to dealing with, and you kind of made some commentary about the struggles that your brother might have getting into the Temple of the Gods, because you yourself know that there's some intricacies with that spell as you've dabbled with how that door lock works. They had a quick laugh about it, and they explained to you that one, the answer was coven magic, and essentially that they Gristlegum's thing is being other people. They are a really good uh, spy, or like a grifter, because their base form is hideous. It's unlookable. Like it's like real bad. And it takes a lot of effort to like to be around them in that
Yeah.
form. But that is because their power is shapeshifting into other beings. So they never really look like themselves. They just look at other people. And then layering in the coven magic, they didn't just look like you. They became you in a weird kind of way. And then also they've been watching you for a long time. They have been tracking you. You now realize that they've been tracking you since before you were on the Screaming Whale. And when they said you went missing, they meant when you went missing from the Screaming Whale through the portal that brought you to the Will of Asteria episode 1. Like they were watching you there. They lost you, and they're like, "Where'd he go?" And they found you again in the Court of Summer, which also is a testament to like their ability to track you, which maybe you want to ask them about, because like how you fucking find me in a whole different court.
Realm.
But yeah, the spell that allowed them to get in there was a two-parter. It was to become you, and then to trick the temple into viewing you as extra friendly. And so they just were able to walk right on in, because the temple believed it was you, and also they have no bad intentions. They tell you that Brother Gristlegums isn't there to hurt anybody. He was kind of just there to like make it so they could have a conversation with you. If you went missing, it'd be weird, and they were like, "Oh, so we just need someone that won't cause them to come and find you."
Oh, yeah. No, I
So you
understand.
had to-
Yeah.
And then the last thing that happens is you kind of like you sleep, you wake up, you're in a new day, kind of early in the morning, and you're back at this campfire. You're kind of still sitting around. There's like not much happening. It's just like a dark ass cave. That you're just a lot of time has passed by the rampant conversation of like your perceptions of mom, how you like exist. You learn of Zilla's weird hagness. You don't. There's no explanation for that. That is a Auntie BB made this person. Like they made a new kind of hag in this process of like building you. And Zilla is a hag that you've never seen before, or one that's maybe not existed before. Known as what I've said already, a red hag is simply just how they're known, or a blood hag. And you know that is that feeling you get when they concentrate on you. There's that feeling of sapping.
Draining.
They're a natural siphon. And you think about that relation to you. It's like, oh, they take power, you give power. That was a rework that Auntie had to do because she didn't want power sucked out of her. She wanted it given to her, and so you were that next step. But you all kind of sit out there, and you're sitting at this fire, and then you see like a weird like shudder go through the two of them, and they go, "Oh, we, we didn't tell Gristle Gums that we're friends now."
What does that mean?
Yeah, he's as he mentioned, he's like doesn't want to hurt anybody, but his directive was like to hold them up, and he's done something because I felt him tull on our tether. I guess is the best way to put it. We can feel each other from pretty great distances. We've been doing this for quite a while. So he did something, and it just reminded me that I probably should have told him not to do anything.
Tell him now.
It's already happened. Like I felt it, and it's like I could send word to him, sure, but like it'd take time, and then like, your friends are resourceful, right? Like,
I mean, they run a lot, but other than that,
it's kind of just like a head cold, for like maybe 24 hours. Nothing life threatening. Just like
Desiree will honestly love to take care of me, I feel.
maybe
I
some
don't
like
think we have to
minor
worry.
body aches or like some fatigue. Sometimes there's some crazy twisting of ligaments. That's not often the thing that happens. Sometimes weird
That
growths
seems-
and lesions, but also like not super
It
common.
keeps getting worse. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's kind of it varies. It varies. When your thing is just reforming mass, it's got a curse for a reason. It's not supposed to be nice. It's just not the worst
wow.
we could do.
I thought it was power. Now I know it's a curse. That is worse. Yeah, curse is worse.
Yeah. Curses are like bad juju. Like someone has
Oh yeah.
spent a lot of time building this malice against you and then throw it on you. And sometimes, you've built a lot of malice towards yourself and you project it onto others. Which
How did
is
he
often,
wind up with that?
well, she really wanted a boy, and she got one.
Oh.
If you can call, definitely not your regular hag like us or like you, because
Mutated.
it's like a butter body. It's like it's everything, but the essence, it's all just kind of warped, and they can project that warpedness onto other things. And also they can mask that warpedness with their illusions, which is kind of most of our powers work. It's often a intrinsic thing that I guess the simplest way we just kind of got wrong. So
yeah.
Anything you have to have a thing. What do you do? What's your
Well, I mean,
thing?
I'm a generator. If we're like talking in simple terms, I can really push the magic out now, baby. I'm one with the weave.
Okay. Can you show us?
I yeah. I mean, I guess. How do you want to experience it?
Uh, do something that is unique to you. Class feature, racial ability, something that is not a spell you've
Oh,
learned.
then
Nothing
yeah.
like
If
that.
we're speaking just like from the heart, it turns cold. It turns really cold, and I just investure of ice, like, and be one with frozen biddies.
It's contagious. As you invest your ice, I ask you 3 questions. Do you
Mhm.
believe you're that these are I guess kind of yes or no's, but also explanations. Do you believe yourself to be a hag?
Yeah.
Do you believe yourself to be the heir to the Court of Winter?
Yes.
Do you believe yourself to be the primordial prince of ice?
Yes.
How cold does it get in this cave when you tap into this investor of ice in a way that you've never tapped into it before, as you believe these things to be true?
I believe that my ice turns to the point of heat with its cold. It gets so cold that you're excruciatingly hot inside while actively freezing on the outside.
You stand there and you're like, oh yeah, I can show you a little bit, and you kind of just like, it's like a thing you've done so many times, but it goes nuclear in a way you don't expect it. You just kind of like do a little flex of energy, and ice starts to permeate off of your body to the point where like your body starts to become. You go into like a very like Emma Frost like diamond skin. First it's pouring out, and then it starts to
Ooh.
pour up and around you, and you're just exuding ice from you, and it just starts to like, it's like someone cut a vein. Like you're just pouring out ice from your tiny little body, just ice, and it's just the ground in this cave becomes cold. It starts to go up the walls. It starts to smoke a little bit as you can feel like the air kind of hitting it. And just your people's shoes and their bodies are getting stuck to it. The flame in front of you freezes solid, and it just kind of sits there for a while, and then it just keeps going more and more. It goes from like icy to like liquid nitrogen as the ice starts to stop holding a physical form, and it just becomes a roiling mist of liquid nitrogen is the best way to describe it for the folks at home. But whatever that magical is to you, like it is this cold mist that burns
Yeah,
in
no, I
a
like the mist
freezer burn
effect.
kind of way,
Yeah.
and it kind of moves around them. And you see Zilla and Agatha. At first, they're like, "Whoa!" and then their faces of like amusement and uh, um, amazement go to like, oh, this is still happening. Oh, this is still happening. And they kind of get closer to each other, and they lock hands, and you feel this like, you feel like there's like, you're doing this and it just feels good. I don't think you're aware of anything else besides how good it feels until you feel like someone like builds a dam on you as it just kind of, you just like, it just all stops as Zilla is looking at you like with intensity in their eyes as they are squeezing Agatha's hand and they are pulling that energy out of you. Simply at first you're like, your instinct is we're fighting. Like I need to roll initiative right now. And then you realize you like look around and you're like, oh shit, did I do that? Like,
Yeah,
oopsies.
like
I was just trying to like invest your ice for a
they
little
just calm me
15-foot
down
radius.
because I popped off.
It goes into a wild odyssey. You see them standing there looking at you, and then that horror goes into like something of revelry. It's like looking at you and being like, oh, power
Now
is
we
in front of
see.
us. And
Ooh,
it's
okay.
like, they go, oh, you have something different in you. That's dangerous. And we like that.
Coincidentally, I kind of like y'all.
Perhaps, if this whole training newbies thing doesn't work out, maybe we 3 could be called, I don't know, we 4. You seem like a
Yeah.
useful peer to have with us, and we currently lack direction since our whole thing was, attacking you, and then we met you, and it's like, oh, you're not
That's
that
fair.
bad. We
And
kind of let go of the whole
likewise,
beef with mom, so like we don't care about her anymore. We kind of like had put that onto you, so this has kind of like healed us in a way.
Yeah, well, if you
Hmm.
feel healed enough that you want to still get retribution against her with me, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, I don't know how you've been tracking me, but like, you could track me till that point and then pop up and we could get a slice of the pie together.
Oh, oh yes, I can. Zilla looks at you. I have a way of tracking folks. Just have a certain scent that lingers behind. Um, and they do this really weird thing with like licking their finger. As it's like it gives you like this. Um,
Can I cast Detect Magic and kind of get a sense of like what she just did?
you can try to detect. You can try to cast detect magic.
Oh yeah, because I'm being
She has
withheld right
recently
now.
re-restrained you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and she will let you go, and you kind of see that she's like there's this. It goes back into her hagness. You kind of trying to think what her thing is. Yes, she's a siphon, but then you kind of get into what is she draining out, and your brain realizes that her weirdness is like it's blood. Like she has this weird thing about blood, and you just happen to use blood a lot in the
I get
great
it.
atrocities you cause around the map. So maybe
Hey,
easy to track if you can smell blood and
I
someone uses
didn't
blood to do
cause
things.
them.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, and so she kind of says, "Oh, I could absolutely track you. Or if you have some of Mother's blood, I could track her as well. I know she's hiding in the Court of Winter, but she just won't come out. And we can't get in, so that's not fun."
I wouldn't have anything, would I? Of like mother relation?
No. Um,
Yeah.
But you know that they need if you want them to like aid you in an assault on her, you either need to get Mother out of the Court of Winter or find a way to get them into the Court of Winter,
And
or whoever you plan to attack her with. Like even if you plan to
yeah, I
use your
mean,
party, like, how do you plan to
had
get
they
them
been
to the
tracking
Court?
me, do they already have my blood or should I give them my blood? Because I'll give up my blood to the hags.
They've been tracking you through the blood you've been using, so it's been like a third party system. Like they
Yeah,
know.
let's cut the third. Let's just get first party system. And Sylvie will like slit a little bit and, drain to her.
Yeah, Zilla kind of takes your wrist in a very like vampiric way. Just kind of takes your wrist and licks it. And you can just see her like just something about like it's like a sommelier tasting wine. You can just see her like learning more things about you as she like looks at you and like is tasting your blood. Blood hag, so just love it. And you can
Yeah.
just feel her. It's like, wow, you have a lot of power. You should work on honing that. I'd say big things
A
coming
little
for
more.
you.
Yeah, well, now you know where I'll be at all times. Is there a
If you need
specific
us,
way I should try to get a hold of y'all when it comes time for things?
well, I guess if you need us, just uh, call out, send up a flare. We'll always be watching. Maybe if you think real hard, we'll feel it. Who knows?
Okay, we'll see what happens then.
We'll figure it out.
We're
We'll always,
connected,
taste the cold.
and it'll be very icy.
Well, if you want, we can. Well, it's gonna take us some time. We know where your party's camping out. If you want to join them, it's just gonna take. Wait, we haven't been moving, and they have, so it would just take
Yeah,
us a
no,
minute
I
to get there.
understand. We can start making our way if that's what you're insinuating.
Yes, that will. Unless there's anything else you need, I would just want to see the end of some stories, and I just that means getting things done.
Oh yeah, I'm just kind of excited with all the new revelations that I've taken in, and I'm sure as we travel, I will have plenty more questions that I come up with along the way.
Great. Well, if you think of them, ask them. And as you start to move through the Firefly Forest, we jump back to our party, who has been nursing these ale bodies of Sylvie, who is sickly, and of what's his name, Trimmer, the ranger, who is withered. They have been put into these just like a little on the ground tent just under them as they've been they're just basically not moving. They're just being cared for by passing either Desiree or Desbrenda as they're bringing warm compresses, and mostly just hoping that whatever this is passes, or they can find the source of the magic that is ailing them. But that is the current situation that the medical team has at the base camp. But also the rest of the camp has been broken up. There's just this small fire and the rest tent. And then there's also a table with all the cooked food that has been prepared by Sharp and no one else. And you are kind of all out there, and it is turned into this just kind of sitting and chatting as people are chipping on someone's sick and it's is there a doctor in the house? And it's yeah, and it's not me. Also, I can't leave because the doctor's my ride. So you're just in this place and you're oh, okay. But Ursine, Desbrenda comes up to you and she says, oh, I feel there's a lot has changed with you since last we met. You are radiating a certain energy that I don't know how to explain it, but something's new here.
Thank you. I do have to say I've already talked a bit about romance with one of my comrades, so I'm a little bit tuckered out about that. But if we could skip along that, I appreciate it. I do. Thank you. You're beautiful as well. However, I don't have long in this world. I feel like you have lots of time. I feel like your energy is better spent somewhere else.
Well, wow. 1, you're way too young for me. Thank you. 2, I am married. 3, I do have a child. They are over there. This is purely a
This
magical...
is wildly inappropriate for you to walk up to me like this, then.
I was talking about the magical aura that you were permeating, not whatever you were picking up on that I was not trying to give off. So my apologies.
Oh, my apologies entirely. The conversation that I had earlier was a little awkward, so I might just be still holding that energy. So I apologize.
Yeah, if people want to flirt with you, they should just be more upfront about it. It just makes the anxiety way easier. So you just know when people are flirting. And I am not flirting with you.
Or you just don't ever and hang out with trees your whole life.
Oh, I've also met people who do that as well. Whatever makes you happy, I think, is often the best thing. And, sometimes the saying is what makes one tree happy doesn't make the other tree happy. So got to make sure you're happy.
Yes, that's fair.
Why did I come over here? Man, oh man. Oh yeah, this energy that I... Okay, well now I'm did I misread it? But you just really awkward, and I was just nope. You are okay.
Yeah.
Center myself. She centers herself. She sits cross-legged, hands on her legs, starts to breathe. And you see in front of her this flower starts to grow and then die and then grow and then die. And you see it's going with her breath as she breathes in. It goes from a seedling to a bloom, and as she breathes out, it decays. And she's she opens her eyes. She looks at it.
Can you grow it, but just let it live, please? Oh,
it's not technically dying. It's going back to right before it would die, and then it starts over. It's
that's totally fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Perfect.
It's just breathing. You have to stay in between the two. You can't just inhale and never exhale, or exhale and never inhale. You gotta balance between the two in a rate that feels right for you. sometimes I just need a visual representation of like my breathing because I get stressed a lot. Feeling all of this, and she kind of just like references everything around her. It's like, whew, used to just be fire and stuff, but now I just kind of feel everything. Then since your friend saved us all and like reincarnated us, which was really awesome. Minus the part where like wasn't a fire druid anymore, which was just like a lot to take in. But
Yeah.
I've learned so much as a fire druid that I feel like I can apply that to being an earth druid. She says with some level of questioning about what her new title is. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I feel like I can sort of empathize with you. I'm kind of three people at once right now, maybe more. But I'm just me right now.
Well,
It's complicated.
since you shared that with me, I would just like to ask, are the other two of you also okay?
One might have aged out. The other one, no clue. Me, kind of in a constant anguish, but we're building towards changing that.
I don't want to project anything onto you, but if I were um viewing this unbiasedly, I think I would say you sound stressed the fuck out. I don't
A
know.
little bit. I'm a plant dad, you know how it is.
Plant mom, so I get it. I get it. Sometimes it is hard. It's how do you start a garden knowing that one day I won't be here and like we'll take care of my plants? Like what will happen to them? But also it's like gardens were here before me, plants were here before me, and surely they'll be here after me. I'm just making their time a little better while I'm with them. And that's okay.
That's super chill. Do you know any good vacation spots? I feel like you're a good person to ask.
Oh man, there is this portal way on the west coast of the Feywild called the Sexy Portal. Crazy things happen there.
Can you
Mind
take
blowing.
kids? Teens now, I guess.
Oh, okay. Maybe teens. Maybe,
Oh,
maybe not. Maybe they'll be older when they get there.
do you have a brochure?
No. But I've heard awesome rumors and many myths.
Okay. I'll just ask around a little bit more about that.
Okay. Yeah, it's Sexy Portal. You can't really go wrong. It's two
Hard to
words.
forget.
One's a thing and one's a whatever sexy
Adjective?
is. There it is.
Yeah.
Sure. They don't teach English here in the Fae, okay? We learn combat. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if I know this English. I speak common.
I didn't even go to
And
school actually. Desiree was the first one.
Oh,
Great. Yeah. She's our shining star. All right, well, sorry people are flirting with you and that there's a bunch of you who are distressed. I do hope that that gets better. Look into Sexy Portal. Also, try breathing. It is pretty useful. Also, maybe the plant thing. It is really good at stretching out your magic, going from not death to not death, because on both ends is death. If
yeah.
so, if you just balance
I
going
will give
from,
that a try.
it is quite meditative, and you learn a lot about your powers. Okay, I'm gonna go check on our friends who. Hey. And as she leaves you, she goes into the tent and sees Desiree, who is in there. And just probably another ranger as well in this room, in the tent, kind of like watching over members of their party. Hey, love, this is a quite terrible reunion, but it's so nice to see you. Hello, hello.
Well, that is true, as I'm really
glad and grateful to see you, despite my surprise at it. I do wish it was under a different circumstance. I am quite busy here at the moment.
Yeah, we are 2 for 2. It's like the last time you saw me, I was dead. That was crazy. And now we're here and it's like, this is going on. But, I feel like technically moving up because I wasn't dead this time. So that is good for us.
It seems ever since I've left, I've only came back and brought chaos, but I guess that really is only my side of it. It does seem to have been quite chaotic from your side well before my arrival.
Oh, well, that is the wildfire way. Sometimes you gotta burn hot and clear out some old growth so that new can come. We'd need to be shaken up. I would not be here like this if you had not come back. This, my life and my whole new life, everything that comes from this moment on is actually because of you and your friends. So, thank you.
Mm. Thank you for saying that. I hope you're comfortable as you are now. I know it is quite different to what you might have been used to before, but I hope you've been adjusting all right.
Oh, it is hot. I didn't know before, but it's like hot. That's why we're heading to the Court of Autumn. We kind of, well, the coming back, the circle back home decided that it was time for us all to head to new homes, particularly after what we assumed to be was a successful mission you all had in the Court of Autumn, because shortly after your departure, it got more hot. So we figured it was probably a good time for us to like head out with now that we have these new um elemental affinities, I guess, so we should go out and protect more than just the Court of Summer. So I'm heading out to the Court of Autumn with the fam here, and there's another group heading to the Court of Winter, and another heading to the Court of Spring. Oh, and also they're gonna get as close as they can to the Court of Winter. We know they can't go into it, but we figure maybe they can learn something about it. That is also like, why is it there? Why can no one get to it? It's just weird, and like that's our thing. It's like figuring that shit out. So
Well,
new
this is
project.
quite different than anything that we've experienced in the past. This cause is quite noble. I am jealous of your pursuit of knowledge. I hope that everyone has a wonderful time and also gets to learn a lot of new information. But I do hate the fact that it is caused under the circumstances here. I'm glad I haven't been the only one who's noticed how hot it's been getting.
Yeah, it's been weird. We assume again with you handling the Earth thing that it would get hotter here, and I don't know. It's just everyone's trying to do the best they can. Everything's just kind of wonky with the ley lines at stake and them just spiking and declining so rapidly. It's hard to know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, and it's were we actually just getting cooler before, and now it's getting back to the original
Well, I think
it's so
at
hard to
this
know.
point only time will tell, but luckily I do have a friend who speaks to time himself, so maybe we could get the answer from him.
Huh. That does seem pretty fortuitous. Hmm. No, also, this is something you've inspired so much change in the coven recently, or in the circle recently, and then they turn to their side and pull something out of a satchel, and it's a book that you've never seen before, a book that doesn't have any like there's nothing written on it currently. It's very like blank, and they open it, and you see that it's like 4 or 5 pages that have things written in it that are in like a handwriting. You can tell this is a journal that this person is keeping. We all have these journals we started. Everyone who's going to a different place is going to write about what we learn and how it applies to us, so that way other people can have this information and pass it along. Kind of like you and your books. So
Well, that's just wonderful. Promise me that I could be the first to read them after they've been finished.
no, of course. Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd be the first, because like, what if you're not there when I finish it and someone else has to read? But you will definitely be on the list of people who are approved to read the book, which is anyone in the circle. But you should definitely. I'm gonna put you in like the front or the back as like a couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, well, I do appreciate that, and I can accept that.
Well, Thank you so much. And this is just. She kind of looks at the two people in front of her. I'm just not sure what to do about this. This is. I think we have to just wait it out. I'm not. Maybe it's just like a fever, like a little Fey fever, maybe, and they'll just get over it. We just keep them as comfortable as long as possible, and then maybe that'll work for them. Have you seen anything like this?
I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced, to be honest with you.
And I if there's some like check that I can make to turn and like examine the body closer now that I can concentrate.
Yeah, give me a medicine check. Advantage if you pick the ranger. Regular roll if you pick Sylvie because you know the ranger. Like you've.
I go for the ranger then. It was not great though. It was a 12.
12. I think you kind of like, thinking of the stories and things that you have gone through your brain of ways in which you can handle this. And the only the medicine that comes to your mind that you use most often is lick root, which is a medicinal root that is used to like cure ailments and has like an overall healing factor. You don't know if it would work or if it wouldn't work, but that is something that with a 12 that you like your brain is attached to. It's like, oh, lick root is like it does things that my curing cannot do. It has some, not magical, but actually medicinal properties to it.
Okay. Are they able to like move their jaw at all? Is this something like do I need to crush up the lick root is what I'm getting at to be able to try to give them some?
Yeah, for the ranger, do you think there'd be a problem for them to chew it? So you need to put it into a salve that could be like applied topically or into some sort of like liquefied in some way so that you can like get them to drink it. But yeah, probably not them chewing it because of the atrophy. But yeah, to do either of those would be a let's give it survival. If you find a homie, you can absolutely have the help action to do that.
Dang, my aunt don't count as a homie. Come on, auntie.
I think she's out of sorts when it comes to this. You're looking for she's looking at magical remedies, and you're looking at magic's not working. What else can I do? But you got Tidbit, and there's some healers who around you.
I rolled it flat. I'm kind of locked in over here in what I'm doing, and I got a dirty 20. So.
Yeah. Do you want the salve for the liquid?
I'm gonna go with like a liquid. I think that's easier, simpler with what we have on hand.
Perfect. And I think the simplest way to do that is you kind of head out of that tent. You kind of like get an idea in your brain. You march out of the tent. You kind of like grab cooking supplies. And you simplest thing. You're like, I'm gonna boil some water. And you make like a liquor root tea. You get it down, like you boil it into a tea to get like the goodies out of it, and then you mush up the lick root, and you kind of like in some way you blend, like you get it blended and mushed up enough that it becomes like a paste, and you add it back to the tea to get it into like almost like an herbal slushy. But you get it into this paste that will just be of a pudding texture to apply to this person. You can give them little by little to go down their throat to get them to eat it. Doing everything you can to coax them. And you kind of notice that it does bring a little bit of color back to them. There is some almost like when you cast healing magic on someone who has like a broken bone or like has some sort of weird like snapped out limb, and you hit him with that healing magic, it often is like not fun to watch because it like reverts back almost aggressively. So you're watching like parts of their like muscles just like reanimate, and it's causing their face to like and body like to twitch in weird ways, but like you see it becoming more full and flush. It's not cured them, but it's definitely like lessened the symptoms and has given them some sort of like there's peace in them. They're not like struggling to breathe or anything. There's some internal soothness, as that's what the lick root was mostly applied to. Give me an insight check.
That was at 4.
Man, if only you had another idea. You're like, yeah. But you see that there is some like that a lot of the stuff that you see is internal. It's like the breathing is smoother. The way in which like their body just is responding is just less chaotic and convulsive. They seem more comfortable. I think is what you notice that the lick root tea Slurpee does. I hate that I described it that way. Does anyone else want to do anything as this night or as this day is passing by? There's some people who are ailed. There are some new people to talk to. There's some old people to talk to. Or you can talk to absolutely no one. I won't make you do anything. Except Tanner, you can't talk to anybody. Oh, except your friends, I guess. You can't talk to them. Sorry.
I'm not gonna talk to a lot of people, but I'm gonna constantly radiate the energy in front of everyone constantly to let's get moving. So if anyone were to approach me to talk, I'm not looking at them, I'm looking forward. If people start to slack away in the back, I just make comments every now and then like, we're not stopping! I'm keeping the train going. And meanwhile, always keeping my eye on Tidbit and then remembering and looking at Ursine.
I'll be with Sharp. Ursine agrees.
All right, well, fine. I'll lean in.
Uh,
I don't know what the deal is with all these people here. We don't need anybody.
I'm just worried about. I mean, they said they had food, but I'm worried about that.
We got food. We can fish.
And you always you travel slower in larger groups of people. Like
That's
if it
what
was
I'm
just
saying.
me by myself, I could sprint. I'd be there 10 minutes.
Oh,
Maybe
you
12.
have
I'm
no
older
idea.
now.
I'm pretty fast, Ursine. If I were by
I've
myself,
seen you roll. You're
that's what
pretty
I'm
quick.
saying.
Yes.
I'd get there before you. It's not a competition, but I would.
Well, yeah, but that's also like it's just how you are. Like you have that advantage. You can roll. I can't roll. If I rolled, I would be slower.
That's right. We all
It
have our
hurts.
advantages. That's why I think we don't need these people. We got each other.
I honestly don't even know why they were here. One of them was flirting with me, and their children were here.
Flirting with you? Why the children was here?
Yes,
That is so
yes.
funny.
I think it's frankly, I think it's fucked up. Um,
Yeah, it actually is pretty fucked up. You're right. Yeah, I mean, it can be if you look at it like that, because it's all about perspective.
that's fair. I guess I wasn't looking from their perspective.
Yeah.
They said I was like shining radiance or something. So I guess that's hard to not
Right.
flirt with.
Man, I really wish we knew where these freaking 3 other things are.
Yeah.
All right.
Goofy.
Let's not talk anymore. I'm gonna run and see if people follow.
Okay. Well, I'll briskly walk then.
A wild time at this camp. Did anything from you before I summarize whatever it has said to be true?
At this point, any food that the druids brought, at least half of it is gone.
Yeah.
Just
Tidbit
stress
is
eating.
Jesus Christ, there's more of them than us.
Perfect. He is stress eating through the reserves, which they don't notice because they're all doing different things, like protecting the sick. Sylvie, anything from you on the road as you are making your way back with Agatha and Zilla?
I mean,
Anything
other than
remarks?
just like poking and prodding and getting more information about our creator. I don't want to call her mother anymore. Not the creator. Yeah. Any other information that they would have to offer up that would be useful in her demise?
Give me a persuasion check. I'm trying to think if there's anything they haven't said.
Did you say with advantage?
I
Oh,
didn't, but you
yeah.
can, sure.
Oh, okay. Since you said I can. Oh yeah, 29.
Yeah, you're a smooth talker. You're pretty good at chatting with them. I can't. I think the thing you realize a lot about them is they don't. They know you have a. You realize you have a more personal relationship with
Mhm.
her than they do, and you don't consider yourself to have a personal relationship with her.
Yeah.
They don't call her Auntie BB or anything. They call her Mom, and it's like it's like Mom, not name. It's like it's title only. Um, you know that she was we'll just do a recap. She was born of Baba Yaga and of uh Levistus. I finally looked his name up and I remember that. The one of the age old hags and one of the rulers of the nine hells. She is sisters to the Hourglass Coven. There were four of them. She was one of the members, and she was not the last of them. So she was somewhere in the ranks, and then she left or got kicked out, whatever happened, and then she was replaced. Because it's always only three typically. That was also a Baba Yaga thing. She wanted three daughters. She wanted a coven to work under her, and also she didn't want to cut. She didn't want to be a part of a coven. She wanted a coven that worked for her. That was like her thing. She wanted her kids to all work for her. And they do, as you mentioned, as you learned, they are leaving they're leaving the Fae to go to the Shadowfell to meet up with Baba Yaga because she has summoned them because something is amiss here, and she said get out, and they said okay. You know that she was taunted and tormented by her sisters because of her birthright. They called her the princess with no kingdom because she was this heir to this plane of hell that is that notably has like nothing there. It's like a barren wasteland, and it's like cute. You have a kingdom with nothing in it. That's so great. So that was a big problem for her. You know that she left the coven, or at least she says she left the coven.
She
Like
left,
it was,
yeah.
she was like, well, if you guys don't respect me, I'll peace out. I'll make my own way. And that was like, dawn of time
Way,
type energy.
way,
Like
way
it's
again.
yeah, she's been holding this grudge since the beginning. You know that Agatha is 150 years old. She is the oldest of the coven. Zilla is 5 years older than you, and she is the youngest of the coven. They don't know. No one knows how old brother Gristlegums is because you just can't really tell. They just like, they know that he was after Zilla. He was after Agatha, and he was before Zilla, but they don't know if there are people in between there or not. So that. She stays in the Court of Winter. You don't know if that is out of fear or out of power. I would say that you could easily assume that it must be out of fear. Like she has all this power and she's still hiding from something. But you also, much like yourself, as strong as you get, the person who birthed you and taught you everything you know will always in your brain be slightly more powerful than you. And there are people that she considers to have that status. And you also know that it's probably not her dad since she brought part of his realm to her, which is an homage to Asgarath, one of the old titans of the Fae. So she brought some of that there. She hates Olivine with all her fucking guts because she hates kids. That's a easy thing. Oh, you know that you're the only one that Auntie BB didn't raise herself. I think that is one of the things that's most shocking to you. That was like the note she learned from the previous kids was do not raise them. And so that is why your whole thing is like you're an orphan who she has rescued, though she did birth you, and she is the reason. Like, she knows who your birth mother was, and she like put you in this place so that way you needed to the attachment to her.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you know that she lied about the investor of ice being a thing that she gave you as a gift that, as you've always been told, that was from her, but you've always had it, but she's always been with you, so you really didn't know that difference, and now you know, oh, I've been that bitch from the jump.
Before you made me that bitch, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's mostly the big. Oh, she wants the Court of Winter because she is not of the blood, and so you are you are factually, now you know you are factually the only person who can claim the court of winter if you can prove that you are of the blood. The biggest problem you have with that is, and you've talked to Desiree about it, is the court of, which is so funny for Tanner, the court of winter historically is a clan of centaurs. And I don't know if you've looked at Sylvie recently, but no four legs, instead wings. You are not a centaur. But you also know that there are magical means of going about that. If someone is going to magically and biologically reconstruct you in the womb, that they could maybe switch around some things, particularly if the goal is to keep this secret from you. But also, they would have to have a way to prove it as well. Like, if you are going to be this person, that she would have to have a way to be like, haha, more than she says so, because she is the big bad evil guy. So she needs some kind of way to prove that you are that you are the rightful heir. So you know that exists either in she has the receipts, or she knows that there is a magical / mechanical / blood testy way to figure out who you are. And your brain starts to churn on that, and you get an answer real easily because you saw Desiree do it. Desiree brought back the dead in a different body. You just need a willing soul. Yep. Reincarnate spell. One of the oldest spells. One of the easiest spells. Just chaotic because people like their face. But if you don't want them to know what their face is, why not? And so you need a way to. You can't break the reincarnate spell, but you need to find a way to, like, identify that spell in your body. Yeah, it's like, look, I've been reincarnated. This is not my actual body, and they can hopefully trace it back that way. Yeah. Anything else that you want to know? And I'll tell you if they know it.
Not that I can think of. I mean, I got a lot. I just got a lot. Sylvie's like riding on that high of like, she thought she made that bitch, but I bit that bitch. So like, now I'm just like giddy to fuck her up.
Yeah, and I think you also, the last thing is, you notice the difference in the perspective of how the We Three Coven view Auntie BB versus how the Hourglass Coven talk about her. And then there's also your version of that. And I think, Tanner's Maiden Mother Crone awareness kind of kicks in. You're seeing these different aspects of a person, and you know that they all have to be true in some way. And so trying to make them one person versus allowing her to be these individual aspects that don't have to be all feeling and all knowing, unless that is the thing. You got to find a way to crack her ice, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know that all those things, and you are headed towards your party, you are tracking via blood magic. The party is sick and unwell. Unbeknownst to them, it is by the effects of Brother Gristlegums, who is aiming to distract the party and save his coven some time. For not now, because you're homies. If only someone sent a message that the war was over. That's happening, and Sharp and Ursine are trying to get the camp up and moving to get the fuck up out of here. Ursine also learns that he, in his older age, still got it. Okay, the ladies, the machines, the fish. Okay, dozen and a half. If they can't, they're all on the hook. I think those are all the big things. I think that covers most of it. And so next week we are once again without our friend Sylvie, who will spend some time walking through the fucking woods. Oh, so long, as our rest of our party treks off to do some other things. Ideally, whoever knows what's gonna happen here. We'll see you next week, and we'll find out next week, 7:30, Wednesday, same place, same time. I just said that, but I say it again. Okay. Bye.